Here's the other computer I bought home from work. It's in a low-profile Flex ATX desktop style case. Pretty compact, as you can see. Only one screw in the back that needs to be taken out before you can open it. Push this lock latch in, and now you can pull on this part to slide the cover back, and then you can lift it off. You can see it's pretty cramped in here. Used an MATX Amptron motherboard. Don't know what model it is. It just says Amptron on the Northbridge heatsink. Has a socket A processor as well. I believe it's an 800 megahertz Duron processor that's underneath there. Here's the hard drive, or the back of it. Floppy drive, and a DVD burner. It originally came to me with just a CD-ROM drive, but I believe it had a burner in it before, because when I first turned it on, it had the program Miro Burning ROM 5.0 on it. So I believe it had a burner, which later got replaced with a CD-ROM drive, so I put a burner back on. There's a fan right here that sucks air in, blows it underneath and across the drives and out the side. There are vent holes on this side, by the way. It has a pretty neat way of removing and installing the drives. As you can see, these cables are all cramped in right here, but just take this one screw out that's over here. Unplug the fan. Unplug the power cable and the IDE ribbon cable to the back of this optical drive, and this flips up and over. You can access the screws on the sides of the drive to change it out. Here's the rest of the hard drive. It's a 40 gigabyte Samsung hard drive. Right here you can see the RAM. Has 2 sticks of RAM. This is PC133 SDRAM, by the way. I believe it has 384 megabytes of RAM in it. There's 128 one stick, and the other stick is a 256. So that makes a total of 384. However, since this board has onboard graphics, the onboard graphics shares about 32 megabytes of RAM from this, so really it only has 252. So let me fold this back down. Cables are just tucked wherever they can go. Oh yeah, this screw also comes up, and this part also comes up and over for you to access the hard drive and the floppy drive. So I'll put this screw back in, hook the wires back up, and we'll go put the cover back on and go for a startup. Okay, cover's back on. On this particular case, it's kind of tricky to get the cover back on correctly, but I wrestled with it and got it back on right. Everything's hooked up back here. Power's hooked up. So I'll turn the monitor on, get my mouse. Oh, mouse is still has the batteries in. Okay, it's already set to computer, so I'll hit the power button now. No signal. There's the power on self-test screen. Starting Windows. Uses Microsoft Windows 2000 Professional. Starting up. This is the part that always takes a while to start up, so I'll stop the camera for a bit and we'll come back in a little while when the login screen is ready. And there's the login screen. Hit enter on the keyboard. No password. Loading your personal settings. I always like that Windows 2000 startup sound. Now we'll wait for the desktop to load. There's the desktop. All the programs we use commonly, and some files. Gotta wait for the tray to load up. So while the tray programs load up, I'll go away and come back in a little while. Okay, now with those programs on the desktop tray loaded now, it should be ready for use. But yeah, I did put CPU-Z on here, so let's take a look at the specs. So I'm waiting for that to load. While that loads, I'll show you the programs it has. It's got all your basic Microsoft Office programs, Word, Excel, etc. There's Nero Burning ROM 5.0. I renamed it Nero Burning Rome. However, this is inaccurate as it shows the Colosseum in flames, but the Colosseum was not built until after the Great Fire of Rome. Adaware, Acrobat Reader. I put Firefox on it as the browser. Didn't have it originally. There's Fax Talk, and I think there are other communication programs on here. Here's CPU-Z. Let me close that program files. AMD Duron, codename Spitfire, socket A. 796 megahertz, that's close enough to 800. Memory, 368 megabytes of RAM. But yeah, I think the graphics only uses 16, 256 one, 128 the other. Looks like the onboard graphics only uses 16 megabytes of RAM.